No, it doesn't.
Good. I kind of appreciate the more acoustic sound anyway. So this first piece, I don't really do much literary type poetry other than spoken word type poetry. But this first one's more of a literary piece. It's called "Wake Up." Give me a second. Wake up, there's going to be an awakening. Wake up, there's going to be an awakening. Wake up, open your eyes, arise from your sleep, grab your sickles and scythes, it's time for the reap. All you shy, humble, and meek, the time is prime and savory sweet. Wake up. You can't just sleep your life away. You're alive, arise, face the day, come outside, surprised to find, and finally say, there's going to be an awakening. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Wake up. The proverbial coffee is percolating. People are integrating circularly and networking internally. The world is returning to the proper authority, and there's plenty of work to be done returning to one. The earth has begun reversing polarity, invertly preparing a throne, and your presence and attendance are of utmost importance. It's almost time for the show. Wake up, let's go, on your feet, out the door, leave your things, you won't need them anymore. There's going to be an awakening. I mean, you're here, you're doing it, incoherent and fluent, you're choosing every omen, you're choosing every moment, using every omen to further your atonement. This is your path at last, behold it. Release the grasp of the past and the future cast in moldings. There's going to be an awakening. Your intention and intention can change seismic activity, so if we focus, we can reverse this insanity, or maybe the polarity and barely clear all the obscurity, enough to safely carry our mother the nurturer through yet another eternity, or at least make preserving her our utmost priority. Heaven on earth is more than lore, some poorly depicted story, nor is it for any man of war who can behold his glory. But I can safely say namaste to the Most High, his grace, whose rays warm my heart and face to this very day. Its voice, his voice, my voice in part seemed to say, wake up, there's going to be an awakening.
All right.
I don't do too many pieces like that. I do more slam style stuff. But this next piece here, let's see. This one's titled "The Final Blow." I don't mean to seem so mean as to be so damn particular. It's just that my articulation comes in even through and through the extracurricular activities. My sensitivity feeds my addictive nature to numbers. I hear binary X's and O's like prose with each breath that goes deep inside for less than a blink of an eye's worth of time. Not a moment neglected, reflected, projected from my own eye. It's like fire or desire, but there's no ammunition to fire back. Relax. You see, there's no sense to attack conflicting points of view, especially when this platoon is friendly like cartoon enemies and slinkies and foam noodles and paint tubes that splooge for weapons of mass construction. But they're not plastic, they're paper. And like origami villages threatened by a tsunami, your words are heard, but your mood sounds alarms of danger to worlds of wilder beasts that stampede cosmically through space. Their haste makes waste. The accidents claimed by scientists take place. The all-being, all-seeing supervision in its place. But chemical osmosis takes an effect, and no one can manage to recollect being that vapor of existence. We were in that instance, laden heavy with the condensation. A name is given. I am. I am that same man raised to the land of dead, the world of man. Another name is given, and another. Pretty soon, nations start forgetting how to love one another. Disputations within small groups leaves outsiders, underdogs pinned under laws that appease their Beelzebub. Falsifies, reinforce brazen images of transparent gods. We see right through this invisible facade. We're supposed to be indivisible under God, and with liberty and justice for all. Instead of, well, if it ain't broke, we'll just go on fixing until it needs fixed again. But how do you build on sand and command people of every land to fall in upon command to help hold the hand of a lost man whose only canteen carries salt because it's worth more than water? Or gasoline to fuel the power that started with the same light until he chose to ignite a forest fire? I do my best to calculate fate. It's all the rest that somehow ever managed to escape my slowly retrieving, but nevertheless in the present tense a little less than lost state of mind. You see, I'm working with a different drummer, one whose omnipresent presence in this mess we like to recollect, disconnect ourselves, and misrepresent with our and their second hands. But it seems that upon second glance, circumstance, fractured by malpractice, and all the answers like non-retractory rector sets get overly corrected, concreting erected, and sold as protection from the elements, so that 3 three-piece suits and late model vets set in falsely erected plastic tents where the high priest ladens his friends with rare and expensive wines. He tells them fish stories. He feeds multitudes of these hungry people food with sharp hooks and undetectable lines that they somehow manage to convince, conceal, admit to be real, but have collected the paranoid with chains stronger than those they steal. It's bondage. They hold them down, paid homage to greed, anger, hate, and sex appeal. You see, it's all just incense burnt and offered into the presence of idols, not to mention evidence of a conviction that's heaven sent and just as willing enlisting into coincidentally existing, and all that pain and hate of the malevolent fate slave to the same rage they box created, co-created, and paid to have delivered overnight, knowing it not right, stamped with fright, that one-way ticket to paradise, and sealed with blood. So if there's one thing I know this for sure, then when that day comes and the sun eclipses everything but the impure, it's going to be you and I, inside that I and I, that delivers the final blow. I don't know, it's real toned down, there's a real chill vibe here. Usually that comes out a lot stronger and a lot harder, but this last one I have for you guys, this piece is titled Pollution. This is, I kind of feel what we're being fed on a daily basis by the media and by, a lot of things. So this piece is titled Pollution. We need to deinstitutionalize our minds. Reconstitute this prostitute we all idolize. Yeah, she's screwing you, she's screwing your best friends, your neighbors, your whole family too. I mean, how far must this shit come round? Must we be wound before we come unglued? We spring like leaks from these streets. We're proud to present to you the dirty, rotten truth. With just a flush or two, even Manure springs the most self-righteous truths, like Pleiadian intervention or the Dogon Cirrus. See, the cosmic common denominator is you, in provisions of me. Pi and I rest on repeating increments of 3, but before we get too deep, a pie in the eye of the I and I, is that like prophetic comedy or apocalyptic colostomy for the piss to insist on its blasphemy? It's just another theatrical Shakespearean tragedy, but it has to be puppet mastery. The whole earth's convoluted and polluted with plastic factories. The fact is, you see, the popsy democracy that most of us believe, a specific breed of thieves that predominantly feed on the wayside seed to pave them a way for greed. But my heart has become hardened, and in my garden there's no need for plastic trees. Decomposition is a natural condition, biodegrading blasphemy, and believe you me, the rebar in this crete, it's not going to save you from all them prophecy. We need to rise above this time in love. This is how the West gets won, not bombs and jets and tanks and guns, or dollars and cents and mutual funds. The common misconception, the problem with perception, all this indiscretion, we all want to leave a lasting impression, but by casting the pretensions of what we want them to see, even the best of these intentions become casually martyred, bartered to a fascist society whose ideas are used as blood diamonds to bribe scribes and pay slaves to hide lies and carry the weight. You see, you can try to separate, but back in the day, the church was the state. It's the taxes, the axis, the collection plate. You see, the fact is, the practice to vegetate is a nasty axis to gravitate to habits that inhibit enslaved mind states. We're not just being lazy, we need to wake up. Crazy puppeteered oaths, cradle rob filling boats, pinning stripes on their coats, selling dreams of glory, honor, and hope. It's a hoax. How many graves have been made on foreign coasts? They could have been making a difference at home by guarding their door instead of their gold, instead of saving their ass, instead of their soul. You see, there's more important things than going to school. But when one head turns, they all do. That's the general's rule. And more typically and specifically, non-incidentally true. There's no coincidence, there's a lack of evidence. They're straight up lying to you, vying for you, hoping you'll ride with them too while keeping eyes glued to a tube in your living room, blaring, please stay tuned. And now, a word from our sponsors. Are you always tired, angry, easily bothered? Do you feel your whole life is being spent on something that doesn't matter? You could be like thousands of others who suffer from an over-excess anxiety disorder, and with no test specs necessary to process your order, you are not alone. Just pick up the phone, give us a call, we'll begin to solve your all with prescription strength placebanol. Just one pill, 3 times a day, watch your worries get carried away, and if you call today with this limited time offer, all you'll pay 3 easy payments of $19.99 and a piece of your soul is a consolation prize. So give us a call. All lines are open. Our 24-hour representatives will stand by hoping that your inner codependencies keep us floating. Side effects may vary. Some terms and conditions may apply. Sorry, no CODs. Must be at least 18 years old to enter.
Yeah.